All right, what's up, everybody? Steven and Kiera coming at you from our kitchen.
Yes, welcome to the Hall residence.
Yeah, so what we wanted to do was kind of a recap on Kiera's show last weekend, the Puerto Rico Pro, which was in the Bahamas.
Makes no sense.
Whatever. COVID, right? But anyways, a lot of people ask, and this is to share kind of the journey and what happened and kind of recap. And also it's good for us to be able to look back on and just for our own memories, like taking a picture. So she placed 8th. So first top 10.
I was pretty excited about that. I mean, third pro show to be in the top 10 was first time. Got to do my 2-minute routine. It stung at first, but then I found the positives in it.
Yeah, I mean, it really, so this competing, contest prep, and everything really is an emotional roller coaster. And this weekend definitely didn't disappoint as far as that goes. But at the end of the day, there were so many more highs than lows. So we're just going to kind of go through everything, and then we'll make another video talking about kind of our next step and what we're doing with that. We'll kind of allude to that here, but I want to stay focused on just a recap of what happened. So let's go. Leading up to the show, how long did you prep for?
It's like 25 weeks. It was a heck of a prep.
So,
But, I mean, it's how we live our life, so it's really not that big of a change for us, except you don't get the twice a month cheat or something. I mean, I don't know. It's normal life.
Yeah, you're just a little more hungry, so a little more cranky. But okay, so leading up to the show, like we're talking like the last week or two, like how did you feel overall?
So going into the show, like I mean, I was confident. I put everything, and I mean everything, into this prep. Posed every day, 30 minutes to an hour. I've told vacuums to try to shrink my waist, just like an extreme version of a plank almost. That's kind of hard to explain. Anyways, for like 2.5 years. There wasn't a stone I left unturned. I was on my diet, 110% as perfect as could be. Gave everything I had in my training. So knowing that the work had been done and I did all that I could do, there was a lot of confidence in that. Going into the show, like I could tell my physique was starting to kick back a little bit. I was a little overworked and over dieted and stressed. Like my stomach would get distended, and I'm gonna assume that was like cortisol levels and the whole story. But anyways, so that kind of bothered me. And then I knew my conditioning was on point. And conditioning just meaning how lean you are, how shredded you are. I knew that it was there, but it wasn't showing as well as it should have because my muscle bellies are what's called flat. Basically, they don't have enough carbs and water in them to push hard against the skin and really show what's there. So those things had me concerned, but I had a coach, and you kind of put the faith in them, and you just try to not think about the things that you're seeing that don't look right, So I just kind of went with that, and I mean, but all things said, I was confident. It was the best I felt going into a show.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I'll offer my perspective on everything too, like from the weekend and all that. I was very confident. We felt like she had a chance to be in the mix to compete for a win. And the thing is, it's funny because like even if we chronicled, video, journaled everything that goes into a contest prep, it's really hard to fathom if you've never done it before. It's like it's is consuming. It is your entire life. But yeah, I felt really confident as well going in. Her biggest problem the last time she competed was like 2 years ago, was she was a little flat and then also had a little bit of stomach distension on stage, and that was a big reason why we started working with a coach too, was to try to fix those issues for her and also for me kind of in that last week, and we'll go into a little bit that more in another video too, but yeah, I mean we both felt really good, really confident. I'm going to put up some pictures in just a little bit when we kind of go over her stage shots, so you can see the comparison of what we mean by flat versus popping versus hard and all that, to give you a visual. So yeah, that was pretty much it. I mean, we had decided to do this show like at the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. They moved it from Puerto Rico to the Bahamas with COVID, and
moved it a week back.
Yeah, I mean, it got changed around, and there were still some kind of inconveniences going up to the show with travel visas and stuff like that. But we had a plan, and we thought, well, if we start waffling on this plan, that's an easy habit to get into.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely a takeaway if you ever compete, or I mean, honestly, it's anything in life. I mean, you got to stick to the plan. You make a plan and you commit to it, because things are going to change, and you just got to be able to change with it. And you can't keep second guessing yourself, and because you're going to continue to second guess yourself. I mean, it's just go with it.
Absolutely, roll with it. So the show was on Saturday. It was a 2-day show, Saturday, Sunday. We flew out on Thursday, which we found an easy flight from Orlando, direct, like an hour flight is nothing. So if we must be in Tampa, that's an hour drive for an hour flight, so it's very easy. So we get there Thursday. We like getting Airbnbs.
Oh yeah. If you compete, it's the only way to go. I don't know how people do hotel rooms, like you're cooking your chicken in the microwave, or I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, some people will pack all their meals and take them with them, but that's not really about that life. So we did that, stayed off site. So that was actually really cool, and you get to see some different kind of sites of the areas. We get there on Thursday, and of course we have to go work out because what else are we going to do? And we found a really cool gym called Better Bodies. I'm going to put some pictures and video of that. We talked with the owners, Rodney and Kenny, like super hospitable.
Oh, yeah,
it was awesome. They looked at Kiera like she had a third eye when she pulled down and started posing in the gym. But it was really great energy.
It really was. It was a cool gym. It was definitely a plus to our vacation.
Yeah, super old school, a lot of old equipment. Like I said, I'll put some pictures up, and it's interesting because there's like scripture all over the ceiling tiles and all that. I got some pictures of that, and that's one thing. Like if you do watch our YouTube channel, you'll see like a lot of my stuff is about my walk-in faith and all that. And at first I was like, well, bodybuilding and faith don't really go together, but then I realized like everything goes with God. Everything is centered around God, and our faith was not only continues to be a big part of our life, but a big part of the decisions we made moving forward and our reflections on the show. So we're also going to share that with you too, because that is a huge part of our lives in deciding what we're going to do. So let's get to Thursday, Friday. We go tan and all that. Tan looked great. So we'll go ahead and go to prejudging.
Yeah.
Saturday.
It was Saturday night, so just all day Saturday was just checking in before each meal with my coach and pictures and a little bit of food and then was on stage. Very little bit of food, and then was on stage. At like what
5:30, 6 o'clock, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a big class, like 25 girls. I think it was a really solid class. So an 8th place finish in that, it really was a step in the right direction. So prejudging, like backstage and then going on stage. So I'll tell my perspective, what I saw in a minute. How did you feel?
I mean, I felt confident. I could look around and tell that I needed some more upper body size, so that was a little intimidating, and I felt like my upper body wasn't showing what it had to show. I was flat, but like I said, I was confident. I was excited. The best I've ever felt going out on stage was super confident in my ability to pose and present, and just ready. Let's see what I got. Let's go.
And also, Natalia Coelho, who's number 3 in the world in her division, was there and was helping her. Like she was awesome. Really just helping her feel better about herself and better about going to the show. And I think that really helped out a lot and paid off. So I can tell you, like from my perspective in the audience, I saw her come out and she looked phenomenal. They did their individuals first. Her presentation, her posing, her stage presence was so much improved. Not that it was bad before, but it definitely was a lot better this time. So I was super happy with that. As I watched the girls come out in lineups, like I knew, okay, I could see that a win wasn't happening. There were girls, and it really is like we're gonna go over a couple poses, and I'll put the pictures up so you'll see what we're talking about. Where she's getting beat is literally like this top third. So when she goes flat, this goes flat. Her legs, even when they go flat, are still huge, so it kind of creates an imbalance.
Super balanced. And I've got a big waist too, so this can't go flat.
Yeah.
Because this is, you think about a triangle, like this is the top of the triangle, and I got a big waist, so this has got to be really wide, right? And so if it's flat, then I just look straight with big ass legs.
Yeah, I mean it really is. You got to create that V taper. So just like she said, if she goes flat here and in her upper back, it does make her waist wider, makes her look a little blocky. So, but I mean, her conditioning was even better than in most of the girls in the first call out. I feel very confident in saying that. And then, so they announced first call outs and she wasn't in it, so I'm like...
And that's the top 6 for those that don't know.
And then they go to second call out, so I'm just like, okay. And I mean, how did you feel at this time?
I was praying to God that I was second call out, which I was. And then when they line you up on stage to compare you, basically you want to be towards the middle. The middle's like, in first call outs, that's first and second place, and then in the next call outs, that's your 7th and 8th place. And so I was in the middle. They were rearranging girls, and they didn't move me, so that was awesome. And it's crazy when you're up there when they first run you through, because you feel like you're at war. Like, you are just knocking elbows, nobody's moving, you're trying to get your poses. Like, it's intense. It's intense.
Yeah.
And you're trying to look feminine while you're doing it. But, I was very happy to be in second call outs, and of course, I got that voice in my head. It's like, well, maybe you'll get moved up to first. They haven't seen, what you've got to show. But I stayed in the middle, and that was that. And, got off stage and met with Steven, and of course, right then it stung. I thought I'd made first call outs, and to not be in it, just it sucked.
Yeah. And the thing is, so like after prejudging, it's a 2-day show, so at the end of Saturday night before Sunday, the finals of Sunday were 2. We know she's not battling for a win. Based on where she was at in the lineup, we're like, okay, well, it's looking like a top 10. So that's good.
Because the first lineup's got 6 girls, the second lineup's got another 6 girls. So praying that I'm in the top 10, but I could have been 11th or 12th place, still being in the second calls.
And then, so top 10 get to do their 2-minute routine. Individuals, everyone else doesn't, which kind of sucks for them, and we've been there before. So, anyways, and she'd worked so hard on that, like so hard. So I was really praying, like, just at least let her be in the top 10, because that will be a huge win. So Saturday night we get back to the Airbnb, and it was, honestly, it was pretty rough.
Yeah, I was pretty upset.
It's like you put all this work in and it doesn't manifest into what you expected it to, and that's a lot. There were some tears, and I've been there. Like, questioned, what am I doing? Is this right for me? And but we didn't do anything drastic as far as eating. Kept all this super clean. She still has to be a professional and get back on stage tomorrow, plus do her routine. But after sleeping on it, and then we had the pictures that we could look at. Like, I think we both felt like a lot better on Sunday.
Sleep fixes everything, right? But at the end of the night, they posted the pictures online of you posing from prejudging and all that, and we looked at the pictures, and I was like, you know what? I'm happy with what I brought to the stage.
Yeah. It was a really good package. So let's now, real quick. So I'm in the audience. She's backstage. We don't know if she's top 10, and so we're just waiting. They're lining them up, and then I guess they tell you, they call your number.
Yeah. So the second night, when they're like, if you hear your number, you're in the top 10. So I heard my number. Oh, thanks.
But then she texts me like top 10 or something. I'm like, oh, what is that? Is it you made the top? Like, no exclamation point, no emoji, nothing. I'm like, I don't even know what she's saying. I'm like, wait, that's great. So I was elated at that point. Like, at least she's in the top 10. She came out, and then they line you up again on the second day for kind of a recomparison. I think it's more of a formality, but I can tell you her posing was even better then. She looked a little more crisp. I think the stress had worn off then, so that was a real positive to take away from it too. So now, what we'll do now is just go over a couple of stage shots. I'll put them up on the screen so you can see what we're talking about and where we feel like she needs to improve to take that next step forward, which we both feel like she can do in the next 5 weeks or so to prepare for Tampa. But we'll get into that in a minute. So we'll start with the front double bicep.
Mm-hmm. So you look at that, and like you said, it's the top third of my body. Meaning, my biceps, my arms. My upper chest and front delts, like all that just needs to pop. Oh, I thought.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So like all this more full. So she's nice and full right now.
Eating.
Yeah. All this needs to be a little fuller because that's what creates that V taper. You'll see her legs are actually looking really conditioned. They can still be a little harder, but like really good conditioning. So that pose. And then we'll go to a back double bicep next. These are probably the two, not probably, they are the two most important poses in men's and women's division. So back double bicep, same thing. So
upper part of the back needs to be thicker. I need to have more width, so my lat's a little bit wider. And then the one thing on that pose that told me, okay, yeah, you aren't full. Everybody wants to throw that card out there. Oh, I was flat, whatever. But you'll see in the pictures that we show what my butt looks like on stage. It looks, in my opinion, it looks soft.
She's still got a great butt, though. Don't let her, yeah.
It looks soft. The glute tie-in, where the glutes come down into the hamstring, it should be a sharp, crisp V there. And it's not. And there should be striations in my butt. And there's not. Now, if you look at it, we'll show you the pictures. 2 days later,
So here's
after
I'll put
I
this
had
picture
food,
up, yeah, like 2 days later in the gym,
and you
you'll
look at
see
my
the
butt.
difference.
And that-
And not only that, also the difference in the
my
the
back,
upper
in my
back as
arms.
well, where she's not like what we call stringy. I know we're splitting hairs here. Like, don't get me wrong, she looked phenomenal on stage. I
sport
was
is all about
so
splitting
proud.
hairs.
But when you're being compared against the best in the world,
that's all it is.
you're compared against your flaws, not against your strengths. So that's really what we see in those two areas. So we really believe that Tampa was 6 weeks after the show. At the time of this video, it's 5 weeks away. And we felt like in that time period, you're not going to dramatically recreate your physique, but we feel like we can present what's there more effectively. There's more to her than what's showing, put it that way. And we both felt very confident. Now, we already had a tentative plan in place Sunday morning. We went to the gym because working out fixes everything.
Yes, it
and
does.
we knew like, okay, what's the next step? We can't wallow in our sorrows. Yeah. And so we're like, well, let's just do Tampa. And we decided to do it ourselves.
Yeah. I mean, it was funny. There's a lot of things that just kind of came up then, and I don't know. Sometimes I feel like the best decisions made are the ones that you just react, because it's so easy to sit there and be upset about what happened and point fingers and all that. But if you can just pick another goal and find something else to now invest that energy in and work towards, like you're moving forward, and the sting goes away eventually. And I felt a lot better once we had another plan. All right, this is what we're doing.
And the cheeseburger helped too.
Cheeseburgers help everything. And then we decided to do the prep, the two of us. And it's kind of funny because we turned me professional, and the day after we decided that, I get Facebook. This is the one time I'm gonna praise you. I get the 3-year memory of when we turned me pro and my stage shots, and it was just like, damn, like I had a lesser physique. We didn't know. We knew, but we know so much more now. Like, what can we do? Like, let's remember what we're capable of, and it's so easy to have a coach, and a lot of people do, because it's just like, well, then you have to take the responsibility and the blame. My coach told me, well, I'm not okay with that, but putting my destiny in somebody else's hands.
Yeah, and overall, like, we were very happy with the
and not to knock my previous coach at all. I'm just saying, like, it's
we
time
would
for
have
me to
done
take
things
control.
differently, and that's just life. I mean, I'm always arrogant enough to think that I could do something differently or better than somebody else, and sometimes I'm wrong, or sometimes I'm right. And we're gonna make the next video we do with her will probably be making that decision, why we made that decision, everything that went into the decision for us to do the prep, and then we'll also do a video, maybe that same video, maybe another one, of exactly what our strategy is to do that. So we're not just like willy-nilly, like, oh, we're just gonna do this. So we do have a plan, more or less.
Yeah,
Sort
just
of.
keep moving forward, right?
Yeah. So anyway, so that is about it for Puerto Rico. We went out and saw Atlantis.
Oh my God.
Afterwards, I'll put some of those pictures. That place is awesome and it's huge. So that was really cool to get to see.
Go broke staying there, but it was cool to walk.
Yeah, $40 for us each to have one goose and soda. So
Was it even goose?
yeah,
Oh,
well, it was
yeah,
goose orange. Yeah,
okay.
goose
All right.
orange.
Orange.
Yeah. So we had a nice date, which really helped. Like, that was great for us to just kind of de-stress, and then flew back the next day and really just went right back to the gym after we got.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, that's about it. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah.
We were excited to share this with everyone and kind of give our perspective and a glimpse into our world. And we'll share more. And then we'll also do a video about my stuff that I'm doing, because I've got a different plan too. And
yeah, just keep trying to get some content out there and share this experience with y'all. And I know last year I had planned to document my prep, and COVID. So here we are, we're back, and looking forward to sharing.
And I will say this in closing, like I said before, our faith and our walk with God has been so powerful and was a huge part of us making the decisions that we made. And there were some signs along the way to say that we're making the right decision. So super encouraging.
That's a video all on its
Yeah,
own.
very exciting. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. God bless.